So Don Sutton, who has been through it all, now asked to win. It's a big one for him. I'll say one thing, about an hour before game time, you would not have found a more relaxed man in a most difficult situation than Don Sutton. Vic McBride, Larry Boa, and Mike Schmidt will be due up in that order. McBride talking to Bob Engel, the plate umpire. And now Sutton comes down. Evidently, McBride wants Engel to look at the ball. And Engel puts a new one in play. And then Engel, after Sutton laughs, Engel looks at McBride and says, if that will please you, it's done. And of course, for McBride, no doubt he was saying, hey, it's not my idea. The guys at the bench told me I had to do it. He's just following orders. Here we go. Second game. High bouncer. Sutton will get him. Oh, he threw a BB to Garvey.
Batting second, number 10.
One down, Larry Boa, the switch-hitting shortstop. Boa. We mentioned it last night that in this kind of a game, there must be 20 pounds of statistical material available. But all it does is clutter and drown everything that goes on. So we'll take the numbers on the screen and we'll tell you how they fared against the pitcher. That ought to be enough. For instance, Larry Boa against Don Sutton this year is 5 for 15. A drive to right field, hooking down the line, curling in the corner, foul. One of the reasons I think that people talked about the rabbit ball this year, the fact that Larry Boa had hit 4. The first base umpire, Harry Wendelstedt, right there to call it, and Paul Pryor is also down on the foul line. Boa went 1 for 5 last night. And a looper. Russell is going to have to play it on a bounce. So Boa dunks one. And immediately the Dodgers have a challenge because Boa is a base stealer. He has stolen 32 out of 35 tries. And Mike Schmidt coming up. I would think, in looking at Sutton pitching to Mike Schmidt, that you would not see very many breaking balls. And then when you see Sutton pitching to Luzinski just the other way, you'd see a lot of breaking balls. Fastball for a strike. 0-1. You figure that Sutton will be throwing a lot of fastballs for 2 reasons. That would be his style against Schmidt. And also, when you have a man who can steal bases, you want to hurry that ball up to the plate. Fouled at the plate, 0-2. In case you missed it, Kansas City, with 2 runs in each of the first 3 innings and 1 more in the 8th, beat the Yankees 7-2. Splittorff over Gullett. McRae, Mayberry, Cowens, and Munson all hit home runs. So Kansas City wins the first one 7-2. Now we'll see if Sutton throws a breaking ball just as a waste pitch or whether he'll stay with the fastball. 0-2. And he gave him the fastball again, so that's going to be the pattern. 1-2. 1 out, first inning, no score, just the start of the ball game. One and 2. And another fastball struck him out. So Don Sutton stays with the fastball to strike out Mike Schmidt. Now we will see if he goes the other way and gives Luzinski mostly breaking balls. Luzinski gave Sutton a bad time this year. He had 6 hits and 13 at-bats against him, including a home run. Of course, he hit 39 during the regular season. Outside, ball 1. 2 down. Boa at first, no score, first inning. Don Sutton is 7-3 here at Dodger Stadium this year, and as we mentioned, he has won his last 4 here. Breaking ball down and away, 1-1. One and 2. Don Sutton out of Clio, Alabama. 32 years old. He was 3rd in the Cy Young Award voting last year to Randy Jones and Jerry Koosman. 1 and 2. Fouled off. Garvey holding Boa. 2 out in the first inning, no score. Half swing foul into the crowd behind the Philadelphia dugout. So it's still 1 and 2. Here in the inning, in case you joined us a little late, McBride hit back to the box. Boa, after missing a home run down the right field line, blooped a single to left. Schmidt struck out. Boa goes. There's a bouncer down to Davy Lopes. And that will do it for Philadelphia. Lonborg, the American League Cy Young Award winner back in 1967 when he pitched the Red Sox into the World Series. You remember he suffered torn knee ligaments while skiing at Lake Tahoe following the season. He's from Santa Maria, California, but he lives in Scituate in Massachusetts. You have 2 professionals tonight, as both Don Sutton and Jim Lonborg have toiled for 11 years. Davy Lopes, Bill Russell, and Reggie Smith. And I guess one other note on Jim Lonborg, you would have to say that his pitching philosophy is based upon the thought, you are not going to beat me on my fastball. So Lonborg in and out with his fastball, and we'll see how Davy Lopes goes. He went 1 for 4 against Lonborg this year. Hit down to short. Boa to first base. Richie Hebner.
Batting second, number 18.
Bill Russell coming up. He went 1 for 4 last night. Philadelphia defensively with Bob Boone behind the plate. An infield of Hebner, Sizemore, Boa, and Schmidt. An outfield of Luzinski, McBride, and Johnstone. A one-hopper at Boa, and he hit the fastball. 2 down.
Batting third, number 8. Right fielder,
Reggie Smith, who was tied up last night against Steve Carlton, as were most of the Dodgers. Reggie went 0 for 3 with a walk. In fact, Reggie walked to load the bases last night in that dramatic 7th inning when Ron Cey hit the grand slammer right after him. But now for the first time in the championship series, Reggie checks in hitting left-handed. Little slider for a strike at the knees. 2 down, first inning, no score. Off speed, 1-1. Reggie, more than anybody else in the Dodger lineup, sees the off-speed pitch. They love to change on him. Fastball on the outside corner. 1-2. Jim Lonborg, 34-year-old right-hander. Fouled away. Breaking ball in on the hands. There wasn't much he could do with that except hit it foul, and he hit it upstairs, the 4th level. Ground ball sucked up by Hebner. Good play by the left-handed first baseman. Otherwise, it's down the line. And the Dodgers are gone in order. At the end of an inning, no score. Richie Hebner, left-hand hitting first baseman, formerly with Pittsburgh and the Phillies. Against Don Sutton this year, Hebner went 3 for 11. He's got a big swing. He's the kind of a hitter who can hit it out. He hit 18 home runs during the year. And he can also pay the price in strikeouts. But he has a very good eye so that he strikes out less than 10% of the time. Ball 1. Fastball, little looper into right. So Sutton has given up 2 hits, and both of them he jammed the hitter in their bloopers. But as the ball players say, they'll look like line drives in the box score. And here's Jay Johnstone.
Jay Johnstone.
Johnstone could be a bother for Sutton. He is that kind of a hitter. And this year, Johnstone has gone 4 for 9 with a home run against Sutton. Strike. Garvey holding the bag on Hebner. Hebner is not a particular base stealing threat. Foul back. Although Hebner has stolen 7, he's been caught 8 times. And one thing the Dodgers will be looking for, if Johnstone does not advance Hebner, they'll be looking for a hit and run play from Bob Boone, who's on deck. Half swing on a breaking ball, and down he goes. So 1 away, and Bob Boone coming up. That's the 2nd strikeout for Don Sutton. And if you are a member of the Dodger infield now, you are thinking hit and run possibility with Boone. He loves to put it on. Boone, a fine hitter. Because if you play hit and run in the big leagues, you've got to be a good hitter. So we'll keep an eye on Hebner. On the corner for a strike. One out, 2nd inning, no score. One and one. Don has reached one of his dreams as he works on Bob Boone, son of former big league ball player Ray Boone. Sutton was the winning pitcher in this year's All-Star game at Yankee Stadium. So 2 11-year veterans, Don Sutton and Jim Lonborg, in this one. Half swing, ground ball to Russell, over to Lopes, and that's all. On the half swing, the hitter has the chance to react ahead of the infielder. And there was no chance to get the double play. Here's Ted Sizemore. But first, we'll take another look at a pretty good slide by Hebner to make sure Lopes is tripped up. Watch that right leg go out and try and get him. And Davey just wisely held on to the ball. Ted Sizemore, 2 for 9 against Sutton, and could be the pest in the lineup. He could be the guy to give Sutton a bad time as far as spraying the ball all over the park. Foul ball, 0-1. Sizemore, a good bunter, although it is doubtful he would bunt with 2 down on the pitcher to follow. Lundborg, however, rates as a pretty good hitting pitcher. And there's the bunt. Sure enough, foul. So they basically follow any scouting report you might have on them. They don't do things differently in a championship or a World Series game that they do during the year. There's Billy DeMars coaching at third. Tony Taylor coaching at first for Philadelphia. We should repeat again that we do not have control of the pictures you see. We are taking the network feed. We have to follow them. 0-2. One and two. Don Sutton. So many times he has been asked to get the Dodgers squared away in the last 11 years, and he has been more than equal to the task. And now he is asked to get him even. Because Dodger chances of sweeping 3 in Philadelphia are almost out of sight. So this becomes a crucial game. That's the trouble with playoffs. Lose 1 and the second one's crucial. Drive to right center, and so Sizemore, who figured to bother Sutton, just lays the bat on the ball and singles to right center.
Batting ninth, number 41, pitcher Jim Lundborg.
That's 3 hits for Philadelphia. That's the hardest of the 3. And Jim Lundborg coming up. Lundborg had only 5 hits this year. He doesn't hit as well as Steve Carlton. Carlton had more than 5 times as many hits. But after 11 years in the big leagues, Lundborg has the experience to get a piece of the ball. Strike. No score. 2 out, second inning. One and one. Little slider, 1-2. Sutton has allowed 3 hits, and he has struck out 2. Just missed. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 2 on. Got him. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. At the end of an inning and a half, no score.
Due to time constraints, we'll take you to the top of the 3rd inning.
3rd inning, no score. Bake McBride, followed by Larry Boa, and then Mike Schmidt. You remember the very first thing McBride did was ask the plate umpire to look at the ball before the game had gotten underway. And we had a feeling he was doing that under orders. This time he just comes up to hit. Sutton threw him out in the 1st inning. Change, ball 1. That's first change he's thrown. And more important, he is 0 for 4 against Sutton. Good breaking ball. 1-1. Tommy Lasorda, who hit a slight low spot on the ride yesterday, unfazed, as optimistic as ever before the start of this game. Ball 2. In fact, Lasorda was breaking up the team before the game, telling a story of how he made his debut for Ralph Houck at Denver. 2-2. Lasorda said he'll never forget it. He had just been sent down from the big leagues to pitch for Denver in that rarefied air and gave up 9 runs. And Houck came to the mound and said, "That's okay, son. I liked what I saw." Lasorda thought he was crazy. 2-2. A drive down the right field line, and this one is going to go in the seats. Bake McBride reaching the right field stands. And the Phillies, as they were last night, are on the scoreboard with a home run. Sutton with a pitch up and in, and McBride just hammered down on it and hit it out. Right up there, around the letters, and he got just enough of it. The bunt by Boa foul. That's a good psychological play to use in baseball. The preceding hitter comes up and hits a home run, and you immediately figure the pitcher and the infield, they're all kind of still thinking about the home run, so you dump one. 0-1 the count. Boa looped a single to left in the first inning. Good breaking ball. 0-2. Sutton has allowed 1 run and 4 hits in 2 innings plus, and he has very good stuff. Ball 1. No swing, says Dutch Rennard on the third base foul line. Lined off Sutton's glove, but he's still got a shot. If he hurries, got him. For Don Sutton, he was fortunate the ball rolled off towards first base. And watch, he'll take a header as he shovels the ball to Garvey. Underhands, and he goes with it just in time. Sutton getting his nose dirty. 1 away. Here's Mike Schmidt, struck out in the first inning. Oh, and 1. Mike Schmidt, not only a solid hitter, boy, he can dazzle you at third base with the glove. He made a couple of remarkable plays last night, even though perhaps the most remarkable play, the hitter got a base hit. He drives it foul. You remember last night, he fell down on a ball at third hit by Dusty Baker, and while sitting down behind third base, he threw the ball too late, but right at his first baseman. It was a marvelous play. Oh, and 2. Staying with the fastball. 1-0 in favor of Philadelphia on the home run by Bake McBride. Was his first hit against Sutton this year. That's the first breaking ball that Mike Schmidt has gotten. So after throwing him about 7 fastballs with Luzinski on deck, Sutton decided to come down and away with a breaking ball. 1-2. Mike Schmidt, needless to say, has become a very good breaking ball hitter. Fastball, 2-2. Fastball fouled right into Yeager's mask. 2-2. 2-2 to Mike Schmidt. 1 out, a run over in the third. Phillies lead 1-0. Fastball fouled over into the photographer's well just beyond the Dodger dugout. Don Sutton. He is second to Drysdale in victories. He is fourth in games. He is second in games started, third in strikeouts. 3-2. Sutton is also second to Drysdale in innings pitched and second in shutouts. That is in Dodger history. 3-2 to Mike Schmidt. Hit to Russell. Schmidt got only his second breaking ball in 2 at-bats, and it was a pretty good slider, and he is so strong he was able to go out and get it and pull the ball. He's a remarkable hitter to pull the slider into the hole, but Russell was there. And of course, talking about powerful, next witness. Hit foul down the left field line, out in front. Didn't hit it hard. 0-1. 1-0 Philadelphia. Luzinski 0 for 1. But he is 6 for 14, including a home run against Sutton. He threw him a fastball, but he made sure he got it way up and inside. 0-2. If you are Luzinski now, you are really looking breaking ball. And there it is, down and away, 1-2. One nothing Phils, 2 out in the third. High drive to right center, racing over is Monday. It's over his head against the wall. Monday retrieves, Luzinski holding with a double. So Greg Luzinski muscles one and short hops the wall 395 feet away. Now you see Monday from several angles, still unable to get it. So for Sutton, he is fortunate that the line drive by Mike Schmidt was caught by Russell. It's then followed by the double, and with 2 out, here is Hebner. He singled to right in the second inning. Strike 1. Phillies 1, Dodgers nothing, third inning. Pretty orthodox stance by Hebner, but he hangs over the plate and drives it down the right field line. Caught by Reggie Smith. Bottom of the third inning, Philadelphia 1 run, 5 hits. And the Dodgers no runs, no hits. It'll be Rick Monday, Steve Yeager, and Don Sutton.
Rick Monday.
Monday went 0 for 3 against Jim Lonborg. And he drives it to right field. Johnstone racing over. It is up into the seats for a ground rule double. Well, that ball really took a kangaroo hop. Look how high up it went. The fans got a piece of it and deflected it over into the Philadelphia bullpen. So it's 1-0 Philadelphia. Monday is the tying run with nobody out and Steve Yeager, the batter. Fly ball to right field. Tagging up is Monday. And he'll move over to third on a fly ball to Jay Johnstone. That's not a case of trying to go to right field. With 2 strikes, you just try to hit the ball where it's pitched, and he got a slider going away and went with it. Here is Sutton. And the first thought that comes to your mind, what about the squeeze play? Lasorda likes the squeeze. Sutton is pretty adroit with the bat. The Philly infield plays up. Monday is the key. The runner at third is the key on any squeeze. He can't commit himself too soon. I'm not saying they're going to squeeze, but the runner has a big responsibility. He has to get a jump, and at the same time, he can't overly commit himself. So let's see. High bouncer. Monday can't come. 2 down. So he had nowhere to go on the bouncer back. And Davy Lopes with 2 out will be coming up.
Davy Lopes. Second base.
Two down. Rick Monday at third. 1-0 Philadelphia. And Davy Lopes coming up. Lopes grounded to short in the first inning. Slider missed. Lopes 1 for 5 against Lonborg this year. Fouled away, hit that off the end of the bat, cued it down the line. 1-1. Davy trying to pick him up. Jim Lonborg. Both he and Don Sutton have pitched 11 years in the big leagues. Monday at third with 2 out. Big bouncer, base hit. So Lopes bounced one over Mike Schmidt's head, and the Dodgers have tied it up. And now let's see if Davy wants to do some running. Didn't have any chance at all last night. Here's Bill Russell. Ball 1, slider away. Russell hit a 1-hopper to short. He is 1 for 5 against Lonborg this year. Lopes goes. The Bones throw. They got him. He did not get a jump. Davy did not get a jump, and Boone threw him out easily. Take another look as Sizemore handling the throw. Boa kind of obscures you, but they had him easily.
Good evening, everybody. We go to the 4th inning at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers have just squared the second game of the playoffs with the Phillies, 1-1. The Phillies getting their run with the long ball. Big McBride pulling one down the right field line for a home run in the third. But the Dodgers coming back with a double from Monday and a 2-out single by Davy Lopes. David had all kind of problems against Lonborg this year. In fact, Lonborg had gotten him 8 of 9 times until this base hit here to tie the ball game. In fact, Davy's had more trouble against Lonborg, I guess, than anybody in the league. But right now it's an even ball game. Let's go to the 4th. Jay Johnstone to lead off for Philadelphia. Johnstone struck out swinging in the second inning. Sutton back even, goes to work and misses inside. Johnstone loses the bat. Garvey will do him a favor and return it. 1-1. To Johnstone, the former Angel outfielder from the Covina area. Jay goes over and gets some pine tar. Another great crowd on hand here tonight at Dodger Stadium. We had almost 56,000 last night, and it looks just as big tonight. This is the Dodgers' 16th season in this stadium, and 36.5 million paying customers have watched them here over the years. And for that support, the Dodgers are immensely grateful. Sutton jammed him and missed inside, 2-1. That's a strike, 2-2. Johnstone hit a home run off Sutton earlier in the year in Philadelphia. Broke the bat, rolled it to Garvey. He'll take it himself, 1 out. Bob Boone tried to check his swing in the second inning, rolled into a force out at second. That was a play where Hebner went after Lopes and prevented Davey from turning the double play. Boone has hit well against the Dodgers all year. He was off last night when Steve Carlton did the pitching. Got the corner for a strike. The Phillies have out-hit the Dodgers 5-2, but the Dodgers got both those hits in the third, good for a run to tie it. Bounces up, 1-1. Off day tomorrow. The Phillies fly home immediately after the game tonight. They'll get back to Philadelphia about 5 o'clock in the morning. Dodgers fly out at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then we'll be on the air Friday with Game 3 at 5 minutes until noon on Channel 11. Bert Hooton against Larry Christensen. The 1-1 pitch to Boone. Took something off. Boone ahead. Misses, and it's 1-2. Sutton has 3 strikeouts tonight. That'll make the stands. It's still 1-2. Sutton left his home in Calabasas Park this afternoon to come to the stadium. Got down the road a couple of blocks in his new 1957 Thunderbird, and he discovered he had an oil leak. So he turned around, went home, and got a ride. Dusty Baker has a play. 2 out. Ted Sizemore lined a single in the second inning. The Phillies had 2 on in that frame, but with 2 out, Sutton was able to strike out Lonborg. Don is big on old cars. He just bought a 1963 Bentley for his wife, Patty. But he's a little bit perplexed right now about that 57 T-Bird. Sizemore went to the Phillies, of course, in the trade which brought Johnny Oates to the Dodgers this past year. A deal which worked out nicely for both sides. Say makes a play. Phillies go in order. Ford has an ERA against the Dodgers this season of 2.25. In fact, he pitched the Phillies' best game, I guess, overall this year, the 2-hitter here in July. Teddy Martinez got an infield single that night, and Steve Garvey a single in the second game of the doubleheader. And Lonborg won it 5-1. Jim is 34. And here's Russell to lead off in the bottom of the 4th. Fouled out of play. Russell grounded to Boa on the first pitch in the opening inning after Lopes had done the same thing when he came to the plate. 1-1. Lonborg tries to keep the ball away from the left-handed hitters. Throws a lot of sinkers and sliders. Got one of the best change-ups in the National League. Line to left center field. That's going to drop in front of Luzinski for a base hit. So Bill Russell, who has always hit well against Philadelphia, Opens the fourth with a single, and here's Reggie Smith. Smith robbed of an extra base hit by Richie Hebner on a great play behind the bag in the first inning. Ball one. In case you missed this afternoon's American League playoff score, Kansas City beat the Yankees in New York 7-2 in game one. Al McRae, John Mayberry, and Al Cowens homered to support winner Paul Splithorf. Base hit. Russell will not challenge McBride, and the Dodgers have runners at first and second with nobody out. Here's Ron Say.
Ron Say. You're ready.
Say called out on a third strike in the second inning. This place erupted last night when he unloaded the grand slam homer in the seventh to tie it at 5-5. Of the 31 home runs that Say has hit this year, 20 have come against right-handed pitchers. Lasorda spurning the bunt to go for the big inning. Garvey on deck, Baker to follow. Preston Gomez going through a set of signs. He's got a different sign set for each Dodger regular. Well, he changed signals. Good bunt by Say, and they get him at first. So Say does the job. Lasorda turned him loose on the first pitch, then asked him to sacrifice on the second. Here comes Garvey. That's only the fourth sacrifice hit of the year for Ron Say. But the Dodgers have two runners in scoring position, and we'll see what the Phillies do with first base open. Danny Ozark is on the way to the mound to talk with Lonborg. Good bunt by Say. Ozark has been a bit concerned the last 2 weeks about Lonborg. He says that he's had control problems, and he says that his pitches have flattened out, as he says. The right-hander in the bullpen looks like Warren Brewstar, and that's who it is. He's been their long man this year in relief. Ozark and Lonborg have had their chat, and now we'll see what they decide to do about Garvey. Garvey grounded to short his first time up, and Bob Boone indicates they're going to put him on. So that was the percentage play. And in a moment, the bases will be loaded for Dusty Baker. The Phillies trying to set up a double play that could get him out of a jam here in the fourth inning. Garvey has hit Lonborg well this year. He was 4 for 7 against Jim in the regular season with 2 doubles. And so there's ball 4, and Steve goes to first base. Dusty Baker flied to right field in the second inning. Baker against Lonborg this year is 0 for 7. So Lonnie said, I'll take my chances with Johnny B, not with Steve G. Russell at third, Smith at second, Garvey at first, 1 out, a 1-1 tie in the fourth. Missed outside. Baker with 30 home runs this year, and 23 of those were off right-handed pitchers. Fouled out of play, 1-1. Lonborg had a good winning string this year. He won 8 straight decisions between the middle of July and early September, and helped the Phillies in their comeback after they were down by 8.5 games the next to last day of June. 1-2 to Baker. On deck, Rick Monday. We've got the Stanford battery here tonight. Jim Lonborg pitching and Bob Boone catching. And Baker trying to put the Dodgers ahead. 1-2 the count. Hit well to left field. Might be gone. Back to the wall. Grand slam home run, Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker comes out, gets another salute from the fans. Would you believe 2 grand slam homers by the Dodgers in 2 nights? And Don Sutton on the bench, mighty happy at the way Dusty got a hold of that one. 5-1 Dodgers. Here it is again. A 1-2 pitch. He got it up, and Baker did the rest. Watch this ball. I think it hit the very top of the wall and then skidded across. Well, they're not going to show it. Luzinski went back, but it just skated across the top of the barrier and went out. Monday grounds one to the right side. Sizemore has to get by him. An error on Sizemore, and Monday's on for a second straight time. That's the first error of the playoffs on Philadelphia. The fans still buzzing. Here's Yeager, who flied to right his first time up. Takes outside. With that fly ball, though, in the 3rd inning, Yeager was able to advance Monday to 3rd. And Rick walked home on Lopez's 2-out hopper over Schmidt's head. That got the Dodgers even. Now it is 5-1 on Dusty Baker's grand slammer. Popped up, Boone and Hebner. There'll be a play, and Boone under it makes the catch. Here's the beneficiary of the Baker blast, Don Sutton. So Dusty Baker, 0 for 7 against Jim Lonborg this year, belted one, good for 4. And the Dodgers, who trailed 1-0, lead it 5-1 in the 4th. Bruce Fleming, the second base umpire, going to ask for a new base. So now we're about ready to resume the action at Dodger Stadium. After a better than 10-minute delay with new second base bag. Bob Engel looking over into the Dodger dugout and wanting to know where Don Sutton is so we can start play again. Now Sutton coming up. When Sutton came up in the 3rd inning, Monday was at 3rd with 1 out. The Phillies sensed a squeeze might be in the works. But instead, they had Sutton swing away, and he had a high hopper back to the mound. And Monday did not chance it. Lonborg threw out Sutton, but Lopes picked up Monday with a bouncing single over Schmidt's head to tie the game. Monday away from first, and Sutton takes inside for a ball. One and one. When the Phillies bat in the fifth, Lonborg is due to lead off, and then McBride and Boa will follow. Warren Brewstar has been throwing in the Philadelphia bullpen, and they've still got activity down there. Two out. Monday at first after an error by Sizemore. The 1-1 pitch to Sutton. Got the corner. 1-2. Sutton pokes it foul back upstairs. Still 1-2. Grounded out the Boa, and he'll throw out Sutton, and that'll do it. But the Dodgers take the lead. 4 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. At the end of 4 in playoff game 2, Dodgers 5, Phillies 1. Tommy, a classy fielder, very good pinch hitter. Ask Tom Seaver about this guy. In his career, he has hit over 400 against Tom Seaver. Dusty Baker has a play near the line, makes the catch. Bake McBride accounted for the Philadelphia run in the 3rd inning with a line drive just fair down the right field line into the lower deck. So Lonborg goes 4 innings tonight, allows 5 runs, 5 hits, walks 1, strikes out 1, and comes out losing 5-1. Breaking ball for a strike. In addition to his 3rd inning home run, McBride chopped one back to Sutton to open the game. Accidentally fouled, 0-2. One and 2 to Bake McBride. Russell doesn't get him. Sutton disgusted at himself. Don thought he should have gloved the ball. And it made it awfully tough for Russell. Look how far on the right field side of the bag he winds up. Couldn't get anything on his throw, and McBride is fleet anyway. So it's an infield single for Bake McBride. That's 6 hits off Sutton. And McBride legs it out. Larry Boa has singled and bounced back to Sutton. Garvey goes to first, then down to Russell, who's got to tag him. Double play. Reed 7-5 this year with an ERA of 2.76. He was in 60 games for Philadelphia. In addition to winning 7, he saved 15. He gave the Dodgers all kind of fits. Lopes leads off, and Davey takes a breaking ball for a strike. Reed had no decisions against the Dodgers. He pitched in 6 games against them, and in 8 innings he allowed 1 run. That was a home run by Rick Monday. 1-1 to Davey. So Ron Reed, who used to play in the NBA, mostly with the Detroit Pistons, it's in there, 1-2. Lopes 1 for 2, singled in the 3rd to drive in the Dodgers' first run. 2 balls and 2 strikes. right at Sizemore. One out. Here's Russell. From 1965 to 1967, Ron Reed was the only athlete to play Major League Baseball and pro basketball. Popped up. Coming for it, J. Johnstone makes the catch. Smith can't believe it. He was trying to get out of the way of it, and Bob Engel calls him out. Dodgers go in order, and at the end of 5, I can't believe it, Reggie says, but it's still Dodgers 5, Phillies 1. Hit well, but right at Monday, he's 1 for 15.
Greg Luzinski, left field.
Luzinski, 1 for 2 tonight. Bounced out in the first, doubled in the third. And the Bull put on quite a show in pregame batting practice. He had them oohing and awing. One of them almost went out over the left field pavilion. Fastball inside corner for a strike. Sutton's allowed 6 hits, 2 of those in the second, 2 more in the third. 1-1. Luzinski's had 6 hits off Sutton this year. Before tonight when he got a double, so he's had 7, but Greg swings through that one, 1-2. So, unlike Schmidt, Luzinski has the most hits off Sutton with the 7. One and 2. Bounce foul over toward the Dodger dugout. Luzinski hit his 4th home run against the Dodgers this year, last night. 3 of those have come here at Dodger Stadium. He has hit 8 here now in his career. Hit well to the opposite field. Smith in the gap makes the play. Two out. Here's Richie Hebner. Sutton now has retired 8 of the last 9 Phillies to face him. Hebner has a single. And in the 3rd inning with Luzinski at second, 2 out of the Phillies leading 1-0. Hebner hit a shot down the right field line, but Smith had him played perfectly and made the catch. That saved at least 1 run. The Dodgers got even in their half of the 3rd, and then Dusty Baker belted the grand slam homer in the 4th. Richie Hebner, who during the offseason is a grave digger in Massachusetts, trying to get the Dodgers in trouble here in the 6th. And he's got a base hit.
Jay Johnstone.
7 hits off of Sutton. Here's Johnstone. Jay has struck out and bounced to first. Somebody asked Hebner if he was good at his offseason job. He said, "You're darn right I am." He said, "Nobody has dug themselves out of a hole that I've dug yet." Jay Johnstone hit .284 during the regular season. Sutton going for the corner and gets it for a strike. Bounce foul down past Tony Taylor and the coaching lines at first. 0-2. Sutton's ERA against the Phillies this year has been 3.86. Here tonight, he's held them to 1 run over the first 5 2/3 innings. Pitch misses outside, 1-2. Johnstone homered in the final 2 Philly games Saturday and Sunday, so he does have the long ball capability. Grounds another one foul. Remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Phillies have out hit the Dodgers 7-5, but the Dodgers lead it 5-1. Sixth inning, trying to get even and go on to Philadelphia. Dodgers leave in the morning. Pitch is high, 2-2 to Johnstone. Dodgers had the best pitching in the National League this year. Overall ERA of 3.2. The Phillies were fourth, 3.7. 2-2 to Jay Johnstone. Popped up, Say should have a play. He calls Russell off, and Ron's got it. No runs, one hit, one left. At the end of 5.5, Dodgers 5, Phillies 1. Ron Say leads off for the Dodgers as we go to the bottom half of the sixth at Dodger Stadium. Ross Porter with Vin Scully and Jerry Doggett. The Dodgers leading at 5-1 in playoff game 2. Trying to deadlock the series and move on to Philadelphia for game 3 on Friday, all even. Say was called out on strikes in the second and then laid down a perfect sacrifice bunt in the fourth, which moved Russell to third, Smith to second. Forced the Phillies to make a decision on Steve Garvey. They walked him intentionally, and Dusty Baker followed with a grand slam homer that snapped the 1-1 tie. So it's a little play sometimes that leads to bigger things, and certainly that was the case with Say here tonight. Ron Reed into his second inning on the mound, delivers 1-1. Say takes away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Steve Garvey on deck to go next. Up the middle, base hit. Garvey a fly ball to right, but that's not deep enough. Johnstone in front of the warning track to make the catch. 1 away. Here's Baker. That misses inside. Baker is 2 for 4 against Ron Reed this year. He's the only Dodger with as many as 2 hits against him. There goes Say. Hit and run, foul back again. So twice they've sent Say, and twice the Dodgers have fouled it off. So Ronnie getting in some work. Baker trying to protect the runner. And Say must have heard the tick. When the Phillies bat in the 7th, they will send up Boone Sizemore and a pinch hitter for Ron Reed. So this will be his last inning on the mound. Off speed, Baker way out in front was able to get enough on the bat to foul it off, and it's 1-2. Phillies have out hit the Dodgers 7-6. But the Dodgers used 2 singles, an intentional walk, and Baker's grand slam homer for 4 runs in the 4th inning. If the Dodgers can win tonight, then game 3 is going to be pivotal for several reasons. Baker takes outside, 2-2. The winner of game 3 will then likely force the rival manager, the manager whose club is down 2-1, to come back with his ace, either Steve Carlton or Tommy John, in game 4. Say goes again. Baker strikes out. Boone's throw. They don't get him. So that is run and hit. Baker has a choice. If it's not in there, he's going to be taking. Dusty went after the high fastball at the letters, and Say stole it. So that's the 4th time this year Say has had a stolen base. Reed has his 2nd strikeout. He got Smith to close out the 5th. And now here's Rick Monday, who has doubled and scored and been safe on an error by Sizemore. And the Phillies are going to walk Monday intentionally to go after Yeager. Again, percentage baseball. With a right-handed hitter coming up and a right-hander on the mound. Reed doesn't want to take any chances with the left-handed hitting Monday. So here's Yeager. Up the middle, base hit. Say is scoring. The throw is to third, and Monday is out at third base. The run counts, so the Dodgers lead 6-1. Good throw by Bake McBride, and they got Rick Monday.
Why, once again, Vin Scully welcoming you back to Dodger Stadium. By the way, we have a moment. That was a milestone in the career of Steve Yeager. For Yeager, his first base hit in championship playoff competition. Steve was 0 for 9 in the 74 playoffs with Pittsburgh, and he had been 0 for 6 as he came up to the plate in the 6th inning. So Yeager was 0 for 15 and got the base hit and the run batted in, and the Dodgers lead 6-1. Bob Boone, Ted Sizemore, and then we'll see. Foul ball back, and here comes Yeager. Got it. One away. The Dodgers 6 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. And the Phillies 1 run, 7 hits, and 1 error. Sizemore against Sutton this year is 3 for 11. Ball 1. Dodgers 6, Phillies 1. Top of the 7th. Philadelphia with action in the bullpen. Warren Brewstar had been throwing back in the 4th inning when Lonborg got into a jam. And Brewstar is up again. 2-0 to Sizemore. Don Sutton trying to get the Dodgers even. In there. 2-1. Tomorrow a travel day, and Friday warm-up time 11:55, game time 12:15. Bert Hooton and Larry Christensen from the vet. A drive to left, but Baker has a play. 2 down. The geographical change. Bakersfield is not a city north of Los Angeles. It is that piece of real estate out there in Dodger Stadium. Ollie Brown will be coming up to bat for Ron Reed.
Your attention, please. For the Phillies, batting for Reed, number 23, Ollie Brown.
So Ollie Brown will bat for Ron Reed. Reed gave up 1 run and 2 hits in 2 innings. Reed struck out 2. Might have been in even further trouble except for a strong throw by Bake McBride. And now Ollie Brown will bat for him. Downtown Brown, as they call him. Strike. One and one. Bake McBride, who homered for the only Philadelphia run on deck. Ball 2. Well, he didn't get cheated. He was trying to hit that thing downtown. 2-2. Got him. So Don Sutton picks up his 4th strikeout. Phillies are gone in order, and at the end of 6½, Dodgers 6, Phillies 1. Brewstar will be pitching to Don Sutton, followed by Davy Lopes and then Bill Russell. A one-hopper at Boa. 1 away. Davy Lopes coming up, but he's in no hurry. He'll let Sutton get back to the dugout. Warren Scott Brewstar. He makes his home in Napa. He was born in Oakland. 25-year-old. 6'3", 200-pounder. And he's made rapid progress. He has been pitching since 1974. Graduated Napa Junior College and attended Fresno State. Bounce it to Schmidt. That'll do it for Lopes.
Bill Russell.
So Brewstar gets the first 2. Bill Russell grounded to short, single to left and fly to right. 1 for 3. And the bunt up along third, fielded by Schmidt. The throw, safe. So Mike Schmidt does it all at third, but Russell just too fast. Bare hand pickup, and I mean, he got something on the throw, too. But Russell still had the play beaten. And the batter, Reggie Smith. Drive to left center field, deep. Back goes McBride to the wall and drops the ball. He's hurt. Over to get it is Luzinski. Russell will score on a triple by Reggie Smith, and Bake McBride is stretched out in center field. Fortunately for McBride and anybody else playing here, the walls at Dodger Stadium are made out of wood. And he hit that thing going head on. He hit it and bounced off. So Danny Ozark about halfway out there. And of course he already had Gary Maddox miss the first 2 games with a bad knee, but I think McBride is okay, although he took a terrible lick. Watch him hit the wall. He didn't slow up a fraction. He was trying to catch it just as he hit it, face on. And you see the ball drop down, followed by McBride going down. Luzinski finally got it in, or else Reggie would have had a home run inside the park. So it's a triple. The Dodgers leading 7-1, and the Phillies double checking to make sure that Bake is okay. And he keeps nodding yes. It must be a terrible shock because your eyes, all of your concentration riveted on the ball. And it seemed like he just made contact for the catch and hit the wall face on. But thank goodness he's okay. Take another look at the concussion. See the ball drop, and then Bake just buckles, right leg gives way. Looks like an imaginary knockout by a heavyweight champion, but he's okay. And boy, he took a nasty lick. And we'll probably find out just how hard he hit the fence when he wakes up tomorrow. So Ron Cey coming up with 2 out. Reggie Smith at third, and the Dodgers leading 7-1. Half swing and a ground ball to first baseman Hebner, and that's it. The Dodgers head for Philadelphia tomorrow at 10 a.m. on the team plane. And then Friday, the third game of the playoff series. Ball one. That'll be Bert Hooton for the Dodgers, Larry Christensen for the Phils. Warm-up time 11:55 on Channel 11, KTTV, and KABC in the Dodger Radio Network. That's a foul ball. Should go out of play. 1-1. 7-1 Dodgers. So they have come back against Philadelphia and then some tonight. One and one. Fouled away. Don Sutton. The Dodgers needed a magnificent performance tonight, and thus far he has sure filled the role. Pop fly into shallow left center, and Monday is there. One away.
Larry Boa, shortstop.
Larry Boa, the shortstop, singled, hit back to the box, grounded into a double play. Boa against Sutton this year is now 6 for 18. So he's holding on to that .333 average against Sutton. Ball one. Boa, switch hitter, checking with Billy DeMars. Left that bunt in Yeager's mitt. 1-1. That one hopper at Lopes, and it gets away from him. He hit it hard. Davey tried to back up to get a hop, and he'll draw an error. Of course, it's the old story. Anytime you back up and let the ball play you, you're in trouble. But of all the infielders who can afford to back up, it is the second baseman. He has the shortest throw and the most time to back up, knock it down, and still get his man. Not that time. Here's Mike Schmidt. So each side with one error. Schmidt struck out, lined to short, lined out to center. So he's hit the ball hard twice, but he's 0 for 3. Foul back. Mike was slowed down earlier in the year in a big scuffle with the Pirates. He suffered a chipped bone in the finger. Well, he's a marvelous ball player. And as we mentioned earlier, Sutton doesn't like to throw him breaking stuff at all. Fastball and a high fly to deep center. Back goes Monday to the wall. He's got it right at the wall. Well, I tell you, when you don't like to throw him breaking balls and he hits a fastball that far, what's left? Just missed. Good play by Monday. So 2 down, and here is Luzinski. Luzinski has grounded out and doubled and flied to right, deep to right center. So the Bull is 1 for 3. That would mean he has had 7 hits in 16 at-bats against Sutton, including a home run and a double. And he hits a slow roller to Say. That'll do it. No runs, no hits, an error, a man left. into 7.5. Dodgers 7, Phillies 1. Warren Brewstar picking up the pieces. A strike to Steve Garvey. Garvey is grounded out, walked, and flied to right. In the dirt, 1-1. So the Dodgers are leaving him smiling. And there is Mrs. Davy Lopes along with Mrs. Don Sutton, Lori and Patty, taken in the game. Foul back out of play. So the Dodgers ending the season, and I use the word season advisedly, they ended on a very high note before a record-breaking crowd and leading Philadelphia handily. Now, if there's going to be more baseball played at Dodger Stadium this year, the Dodgers have to do exceptionally well in Philadelphia. And, of course, the whole world knows how well the Phils do at home. 2-2. Got him. 1 out. And now here's the guy who has done it, Dusty Baker. $55,973. Strike. It's the only flaw in baseball I've ever found. They don't play them all here. 0-2. Strike 3 called. So Dusty takes the elevator ride from the penthouse with room service, a grand slam home run, and rare vintage wines. The next 2 times up to the basement as he strikes out. And here's Rick Monday. When the Phillies bat in the 9th inning, they have Richie Hebner, Jay Johnstone, and Bob Boone. Ground ball to Sizemore. So the Dodgers are out in order, and at the end of 8, Dodgers 7, Phillies 1. So Glenn Burke now in center field and play in the 9th inning. Richie Hebner, Jay Johnstone, and Bob Boone, and the Dodgers sitting high atop a 7-1 lead. Hebner has singled twice and flied to right. Ball 1. Foul ball, 1-1. Don Sutton, with all the pressure on him, knowing that the Dodgers had to win, has really been equal to the occasion. Of course, that has been the story of Sutton's career. You know what his earned run average was in the 1974 championship series with Pittsburgh? It was less than 1. It was a half a run, 0.5. Here he is tonight. He's allowed 1 run. See, he will have an out-of-sight earned run average in championship play if he does not give up a run here in the 9th. He is trying for his 3rd championship victory without a loss. So he has been the king of the hill the last couple of years, deservedly so. And this has been one of his finer hours. 7-1 Dodgers, 9th inning. On the hands, little pop fly to Davy Lopes. 1 away. Well, that's the way it goes in this game. Last night, the Phillies had the bubbly, and tonight in Philadelphia, maybe a cold plate of scrapple. Then here is Jay Johnstone. Strike. Johnstone struck out, grounded out, and popped up 0 for 3. 1-1. Bob Boone on deck. Ball 2. 2-1. In there. Good fastball. So he still has plenty left with 1 out in the 9th inning. A little smoke on that one. 2-2. Line drive, base hit to right. Reggie over to get it. So Johnstone, who has hit Sutton pretty well this year, now is 5 for 13 with a home run against him. And here's Bob Boone. Seven runs, 9 hits, and 1 error for the Dodgers. 1 run, 8 hits, and 1 error for the Phils. Boone 0 for 3. Force play, flied to left and fouled out. Strike. Good hard breaking ball on the outside corner. Oh and 1. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Look out for the bat. Throw to first, not in time. 1-2 the count. Bat all the way to the dugout seats. One and 2 to Bob Boone. A shot inside third and down the line. Baker up with it. Into second goes the throw. Around to third goes Johnstone on a long single by Bob Boone. Well, the Phillies certainly didn't get here by quitting, and they're not about to quit now. With 1 out, back-to-back singles by Johnstone and Boone, and the batter is Ted Sizemore. First and third, 1 out in the 9th, 7-1 Dodgers. Sizemore, single to center, lined out to third, and flied to left. There's a ground ball to Russell. He's on the bag, over to Garvey, double play. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 left.